Now, we're late into 2024, so I thought it'd be a little fun, a little interesting if we discuss my predictions for every champion's downfall. Now, it is 2024. It's currently September 6th, so Sean O'Malley is currently the bantamweight champion. So he has not fought Merab Dvalishvili. And I'm gonna go through every single champion, excluding the women, because I just don't care. Starting with Alexander Pantoja. Now, I will be going lowest to highest, just because I think it's a little bit more interesting. To start with the lowest ones, and the higher ones, I think are gonna be swapping belts constantly. But I'm gonna be predicting every champion's downfall. So this doesn't necessarily believe or has to be their next fight. This is just a general overall who I think is gonna beat the champion, how I think the champion is gonna lose via like submission, knockout, DQ, draw, whatever, or retirement. And yeah, that's pretty much the video. Now, starting with Alexander Pantoja. Now, I do think he's really good. I think a lot of people shit on him because of that Steve Urseg fight. I think Steve Urseg's good. Steve Urseg just doesn't have a great chin. And Pantoja doesn't have a great power in his level, I'd say. Like, I know he's dropped a few people. I know he submitted a few people. And he's cleared out the division. I think what will eventually happen with Pantoja, I think he's gonna get chinned really, really badly by someone like you're not expecting at all. I think he'll probably get chinned by what are those fighters' names? I can't remember the fighters' names, but they're like the Korean or Chinese or whatever. They're like the Asian fucking like K-pop bands or whatever. I don't fucking know. The singers recently coming to the UFC. I think there's 3 of them. There might be 4 of them. I think they're all in flyweight here. I think one of them is going to knock out Pantoja. I don't think any of them are that great. I haven't seen anything from them that's like, oh my god, wow. But I just think he clears everyone. Like Brandon Royval slaughters. Brandon Moreno wins the rematch. Miral Balzi sucks, and I think Pantoja would just outwork him. Kai Kara France, you know, I think Kai Kara France could chin him, but I just think it's someone who's not even ranked right now. I think it's someone we just don't think about a lot. That's my prediction. And yeah, pretty much everyone below Tatsuro Taira is like kind of just out of the picture. Like Perez isn't gonna do shit. Nicolau's terrible. Steve Urseg, we saw what happened. He's probably gonna go on a spiral now. Manel Cap sucks. Tim Elliott sucks. Matt Chanel has no chin. Tagir Ulanbekov, he's just doesn't fight that often. I don't even think he'll fight Pantoja. Bruno Silva, I don't even remember which Bruno Silva this is. The only Bruno Silva I know of is in middleweight. I don't even fucking know who this is. Asu Almobayev and Cody Dirt. Like, I just don't see them. I don't see them being able to chin Pantoja. So maybe that's what happens. But I think it's like one of these Korean pop stars coming. They're going to get jumps in flyweight because flyweight's a little bit of a mess. They have like, they'll have like number 8 fight the champion or number 11 fight the champion or whatever. And I think that's what happened with Ursag. I can't remember I want to say he was 10, maybe 9. I can't remember. But he fought Pantoja, and it was close. But yeah, I think he's going to get chinned really badly. And then I think he'll probably have an immediate rematch because he'll probably get 2 or 3 more defenses from here on out. But yeah, I think he's going to get chinned pretty badly, and then it's just going to be a spiral from there. It'll be like a Kai Kara France eats his ass. And yeah, there'll probably be a whole new fucking bottom 15 here, and I think they'll chew up Pantoja. A modern power striker, I think, is Pantoja's kryptonite, And I think we just gotta wait for one of them to appear, personally. Moving on, we have the bantamweight. So we have Sean O'Malley. As the bantamweight champion. Now, my prediction for Sean O'Malley Ooh, this is a tough one. This is a true tough one because I do think he gets past Merab. I do think Merab's like the hardest matchup, and I think once he beats Merab, I think he'll clear Umar, and he'll probably move up and fight. And to be honest with you, I gotta see more from Ilya in order to determine. But I'm kind of leaning towards O'Malley. No joke. I just think he's the most technical striker possible. Um, what I do think will happen with O'Malley is, mark my words, I think he's gonna get another injury similar to that Cheeto Vera fight. I think something's gonna happen. Perennial nerve is gonna go out. Fucking something falls asleep on his body. Something, I don't know. And it's just like he's gonna end up losing by TKO again. He probably won't get an immediate rematch at that point in his career. I'm gonna predict he wants to move up, and he'll probably be a featherweight. And I think he's gonna get. He's not gonna get thrown around, but the thing with featherweight is that there's a lot more people willing to strike with O'Malley, and I think O'Malley's just gonna get caught one too many times. Now this is like late into Sean O'Malley's career, because how old is he right now? He's like, isn't he still in his 20s? How do I even see? Does it show his age here? Sugar, pound for pound, number 6. I don't even think it's... how old is he? Yeah, he's 29. Like, bro's got time. I think it'll be like 6 years before, you know, he's a featherweight and not a bantamweight. And, I think he's gonna get one of those weird injuries again. It's gonna be a terrible narrative, and then he's just gonna get, like, accident. Like, he's gonna be winning, round 5. You know, he's up 4 rounds and he's going to get chinned or something like that. I think it's just going to be one of those things where Sean O'Malley is going to get tested with his chin a little, like a Josh Emmett, I think. You know? Let's say we're in a world 6 years. Okay, well, Josh Emmett's not going to be around that long. Whoever replaces Josh Emmett, you know? Because Edson Barbosa's got one foot out of the grave. He's going to retire soon for sure. But when we get another power striker like a Josh Emmett, who just constantly throws overhand right, and he's just tough as shit, I think that is O'Malley's, like, nightmare matchup. Someone who's tough as shit and will just keep on bombing until you accidentally walk into him. So yeah, I don't see him sticking around bantamweight that long. I think he will rack up like 2 or 3 defenses, move up to Ilya. I don't think Ilya will be champ at the time. We'll get into that. But I think, yeah, I think he's going to be around for like another 6 years in featherweight. And I think he's going to get chinned by the new Josh Emmett, whoever that ends up being in 6 years. But yeah, I don't see him getting submitted, you know, to be honest. I don't see him getting outworked. I don't see him losing a decision. Yeah, I just think Sean O'Malley is that guy, and he's going to be that guy for a while. Moving on with featherweight, Ilya Topuria, 145ers for the people who are a little new. Now, I'm going to be honest. I think Max Holloway beats him. Just saying it. I think Max Holloway does beat him. I'm not saying that Ilya's shit. I'm not saying Ilya doesn't deserve to be champ. I'm not saying, you know, Ilya hasn't earned his spot by beating Volkanovski. I just think Max Holloway is the style. Tough as shit. And a volume striker who's just going to outpoint him, you know? Ilya's strong. I'm worried Max Holloway might get dropped once or twice. I don't think he's getting knocked out. I think Max Holloway is just going to... I think he's going to beat his ass, and then we're going to be in a blessed era, you know? That's just how I see it. I could see him winning by KO. I could see him winning by TKO. I could see him winning by 5-round decision. But, yeah, I just think Max Holloway is the kryptonite to Ilya, you know? And I know it's like, oh, well, Volkanovski beat Max Holloway 3 times, and, you know, Ilya just beat that guy. I just think it's a style thing. I know Ilya's smaller. I know Max doesn't do well against smaller opponents. I just think Ilya's kryptonite is volume strikers that have sneaky power. And I think Max Holloway is in his new prime where he has sneaky power. I don't think Ilya's going to be expecting it. He's going to get dropped in a few of these rounds, and Max Holloway's going to steal the rounds regardless if he's up on strikes or not. That's the way I see it going. I think Ilya will probably get thrown down. Yeah, I think Ilya's reign is just over. I think he's one of those champions who gets the belt and then instantly loses it. That's just how I see it personally. Moving on, we got lightweight. We got Islam Makhachev. Islam, I think he's just going to retire soon, to be honest with you. As much as everyone wants to see him knocked out, as much as everyone wants to see him submitted, I think he's just going to retire. He's going to retire not only because there's a lack of competition in his division, but he's not going to move up now. I just don't see it, personally. Because when we think of Islam, right, he's beat Dustin Poirier. He's beat a Dan Hooker. He's beat... Is that it? Was it RDA? I don't think he beat RDA. I can't remember. But he's beat, like, the challenger, Charles Oliveira. You know? Pretty much all he's missing out on is a Justin Gaethje, but Justin needs, like, 4 wins in order to get a fucking title shot. Chandler's never getting a title shot. Beneil's never getting a title shot. Max Holloway might get a title shot, but it won't be against Islam. Fiziev could get a title shot once his knee is repaired. But, yeah. Current problem, I think, in lightweight is just that no one really deserves it. Sarukian's on a suspension. And when Sarukian comes back, I don't think Sarukian beats him, to be honest. Sarukian, in my opinion, is very overrated. He's kind of shit. You could have scored Oliveira beating him, and Sarukian kind of just lays there dead, thinking he's up rounds. But if you do that in a fight against Islam in a championship bout, like, they're calling the fight if you just go limp in a Darce choke. Like, am I crazy? If I'm a ref and I see you go limp, well, Islam got you in a Darce choke, over. Calling the fight. So I think it'll be like a weird stoppage thing, and then I think Sarukian will go on a spiral. But I just think Islam is gonna be around too long. Or not too long. I don't think he's around that much longer, to be honest. He's what, like 35? I swear he's like 35. Islam Makhachev. Where's his age? 32. Wow, he's 32. I think at 35 he'll retire. You know, Dagestanis, they typically have their mother pull them out of the fight game when they get a little too over that prime age. I think Islam's getting pressured. I think Bilal is going to sit on his belt for at least another 2 years because he's not going to fight anyone. So I think Islam's just going to be shit out of luck. He's not going to be able to fight a higher weight class. And the only other option, really, is, I guess, a rematch with Dan Hooker. You know, I rate Dan Hooker, but I just don't think, I don't think Hooker is going to have what it takes to beat an Islam. He could. You know, my personal opinion, if Hooker's like a massive, like, 800 fucking underdog or something, I'd sprinkle like a $10 bill on that. I don't bet. I don't recommend gambling. Just saying, if it is crazy odds like that, it's probably worth, because Hooker does have a puncher's chance when it's Islam. But Islam, I think he's just going to retire in like 2 years. Get 1 or 2 more defenses, retire as the lightweight GOAT, and then that's it. Moving on, we got 170 welterweight. Bilal. This guy. This fucking guy. I think he loses his next title defense, and that's why I think it's going to take 2 years. I think he'll get scheduled with Shavkat, and I think Bilal will get injured. Shavkat will fight Jack Della Maddalena and beat Jack Della Maddalena, and then fight Bilal. And yeah, I think Shavkat will be the new champion. I think Bilal's shit. I just think he is. He's very open on the feet. He's easy to quit in every single one of his fights that goes 5 rounds. He almost always loses that last round and quits. I think a guy against Shavkat where he's got a 100% finish rate, you can't quit against the guy. Like, you know. And let's just be honest. You know, you can say Leon's overrated. You can say Leon is shit. You can say Leon is right? At the end of the day, if Leon threw 3 or 4 more elbows in that final round instead of hugging for the last 10 seconds, they would have stopped the fight. If you don't believe me, you can watch the clips. You can see how the fight ended. Bilal literally looked like he was about to fucking piss his pants and cry like a little baby. But But yeah, I think Bilal just loses the next title defense against anyone. It could be JDM, Shavkat, fuck Gilbert Burns, to be honest. Um, yes or no, like a fully recovered Gilbert Burns beats the fuck out of Bilal. You know? If he didn't injure his shoulder in the fight they had, Gilbert Burns fucking smokes Bilal. That's just how I see it. Even a rematch against Leon Edwards, I don't even mind Leon Edwards' chance. It'll be at a better time for him. So I just think, yeah, I think no matter what, Bilal loses his next title defense. I don't care who it is. Yeah, I just think he's shit in comparison to everyone in the top 6, excluding Colby, but he's so far out of it. Doesn't deserve it. Honestly, top 8? How did Sean Brady get to 8? That's crazy. Wow. That's kind of wild. I swear he was like 3 or 4 like a few months ago. Yeah, I could see a Sean Brady absolutely exposing him. Ian Gary, I think, is shit. I think he's so overrated, but yeah. Yeah, I think Bull sucks. I think he gets destroyed by anyone. Moving on, middleweight, Dricus du Plessis. I think. You know what? Yeah, I think. I think Sean Strickland wins. I'm sorry. I think Sean Strickland is the kryptonite to DDP. You know, I just think DDP will only lose via someone putting enough pressure on him or closing the distance as he rushes in with his sloppy striking. And I think that guy is just Sean Strickland, you know? I think he can finish the job. So I think DDP is going to lose very soon whenever Sean Strickland gets booked. Now, I do think the rematch will be close, but I just think Sean Strickland's going to get like more of a I need to make sure I'm winning this round sort of thing. He's going to get that feeling. I think it's enough to take out DDP. So I think as far as middleweights go, yeah, I think Sean Strickland's the guy to take the championship belt. And then I think it'll just be like, you know, the belt's just going to be tossed around a little bit. No real clear championship material people right now, you know? Marvin and Up just aren't that great. Imavov, shit. Borjalio, shit. He's not that bad, but unproven. Whitaker could, but Whitaker's just chinny, so I think a DDP would just destroy him again. Moving on. We have light heavyweight, probably the most entertaining one. I think Alex is going to retire after 2 more title defenses, and he moves up to heavyweight, and he fights probably Tom Aspinall, and I think he'll probably lose, and then he's done with the sport, to be honest, because at that point he'll probably be, you know, let's just see, Alex Pereira. How old is this? Giga Chad, 37. Yeah, I think he's going to retire at like 39, 40. And he's just going to call it quits. I think he'll probably end on a loss, but he'll still be one of the GOATs just by being in the sport for such a short amount of time and accomplishing everything he has. So, I think Alex Pereira probably ends on a loss, gets knocked out by Tom Aspinall, and then, you know, we move on. Then we have heavyweight. John Jones is going to retire after fighting Stipe. It would be absolutely hilarious if John Jones ends up losing that fight, but nah. I think he won't fight Tom Aspinall. It's too big of a risk, and I think he'll announce his retirement after the Stipe fight. He'll get booed out because nobody likes him anymore. You know, and he's a wife beater, and you know all those, you know, drug use, cheating, eye pokes, legal knee that Anthony Smith just decided not to give him the win on, or not to give him the loss on. He's just he's too old, and he's from a different era where cheating would get you away with everything, and it's just different now. So I think he knows that. I don't think John Jones is stupid. I think he knows that, and I think John Jones is just done with the sport. I think he's just going to retire. Now, if we're talking something a little bit more interesting, because Tom Aspinall is pretty much the champion, since he defended his belt more recently than Jones has, you know, or Jones has just not defended his belt at all. If we're talking Tom Aspinall, I think Tom Aspinall has the potential to become the GOAT. I think Tom Aspinall could reign for a very long time. I think, how old is Tom Aspinall? Tom Aspinall. 31. I think he'll probably get to 38 and then just call it quits. I think he'll retire as champion. I'm going to be honest. I think he's going to hold the champion for a long time. Only person I think that will give him problems is a Sergey Pavlovich, who's a little bit more motivated than what we saw his last performance. Outside of that, I don't think Curtis will get it after losing again. Volkov, I think, stands a decent chance, but I think Aspinall is just going to be too fast with his hands. Ciryl sucks. Stipe, no shot. Sergey Spivak, no shot. Jolton Almeida, no shot. Yeah, Rosenstruik. Yeah, heavyweight's rough. Like, I think Aspinall's just that far ahead of everyone. So I think Aspinall is going to hold the belt for like 8 years. Could be 8 years, not even joking. I think he'll probably retire. A lot of these higher weight classes, I think, are just going to retire on top because it's very... A lot of the old fighters are too old to really do anything about anything. Like, Anthony Smith will never get a title shot again. Johnny Walker's too chinny. But, like, if we just take a look at heavyweight, a lot of them are in their older ages, and they're not really that new. Tom Aspinall is brand new, I guess, other than Pavlovich, which is the only reason why I think he's got the best style to beat him. But everyone else is too old and too shit to do it. And Aspinall's like an actual heavyweight. You know what I mean? He'd beat the shit out of Jones. No, not even a fucking question. He beats the shit out of Jones. But, yeah. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the predictions. That's how I think every champion currently is going to have a downfall and or retire. A lot of lower weight classes, I think we'll see them stick around a little bit too long. And I think for a lot of these higher weight classes, they're going to retire on top because there's no reason not to, There's not a lot of competition with a lot of these fellows. I don't see any striker beating Alex Pereira. I don't see any heavyweight beating Tom Aspinall. But yeah, with all that being said, just want to thank you for watching, making it to the end of this video. And, feel free to comment down below which champion you think will have a spiral. What champion are you predicting to have a downfall? And maybe the reason why. But with all that being said, I want to thank you for watching. And as always, I hope you have a good day.